Hello and welcome. We are gonna be watching gameplay from the second chapter of Baldur's Gate 3 that they revealed in the Panel from Hell show last night. Come and watch it with me if you wish.
I am Dark Urge, and I have just discovered this little hamlet inside a place called the Shadow Cursed Lands. What came before? I was sent here. I finished early access, and they said you need to travel to Moonrise Towers. Because in Moonrise Towers, you're going to find the secret that is responsible for what's happening inside of your head and the powers behind it. So I ventured to Moonrise Towers, and I could take two routes. I could go through the Underdark, which is one adventure that you could do in early access, and then there's more to come after that. Or I could go through a mountain pass. Very few people in the
So the Mountain Pass. Usually the Underdark is the easier one because if you follow the gobos, if you follow the goblins, quest, then literally very close to where you rescue Halsin in the catacombs of the goblins, there is an entrance to the Underdark. So you can go there and then go through the Underdark and get into the tower. But if you go to the Githyanki place, there is a way that he just said, essentially, where you go through the woods. And also, there's another place right behind the three ogres. If you go down, there is a place with a lot of traps. And if you go through that, there is a group of three goblins, and behind the three goblins, there is another exit that you can take. So this is probably one or the other.
audience have managed actually to get to the mountain pass. Some of them went there very fast, got their asses kicked as they should, and then they took a different route, and then they got their asses kicked too, as they should. And so they found out that maybe it's worthwhile getting to that next level from time to time. But they were brave, and they almost got into the Shadow Cursed Land. Well, actually, no, somebody got into the Shadow Cursed Lands, right, and then encountered what that means. Shadow Cursed Lands, which is what we call Act 2, for real, it's a step up. It is Act 1 was your tutorial. You learned how the systems work. You learned how many things connect with each other. From Act 2 onwards, we start challenging you. We start saying, hey, you are now a character. You're level 5, level 6. You know what you're doing. Let's throw a couple of new challenges at you. And the Shadow Curse is one of them. I'm not going to tell you how to deal with it. I'm not going to be that spoilery. But anyway, we managed to struggle through it. At least I managed to struggle through it, coming through the Underdark.
It's funny that he says that because literally in this video, later they show you how to deal with the shadow curse. One is either you will be shadow heart, two is torches or a specific torch and or quest item.
While Adam will have taken the overland route for reasons which he's about to explain. And I encountered this group of people who've managed to protect themselves in a small enclave in the center of the Shadow Cursed Lands. And so I'm going to go and ask them, who am I? Who the hells are you? I don't have any sound.
You have sound?
Can we have sound? Is there supposed to be sound? Ah, there we go.
And here we meet Jaheira, the first time in the game. If I remember correctly, Jaheira is a fighter druid multi-spec.
I'm gonna tell her I am magic incarnate because I'm a sorcerer and these vines will not hold me.
Let's see how that goes.
They'll last long enough. Magic incarnate. This is why we're here, you see. Tis a curious creature that hides all manner of secrets. If there's one thing that we know, it's that it knows its own kind. You should never have come here, true soul.
I could rage against it, but I'm just going to say I'm not a true soul. I want to be friends with you, Jahira. I read about you. You're so cool.
Stop! Hold on, Jahira. I think I know this one.
His eyes meet yours. There's no recognition.
And he looks a little confused because apparently there were problems with the saves during the thing, and this is a different save, so it's a different outcome. He was expecting a lot of people to come to his aid, which I am guessing the people that come to your aid are probably all the people you save and let them leave the place of the druids, all the tieflings, and they probably end up here and then say, hey, he's a good guy, he helped us, blah, blah, blah. But instead, we have this interaction.
There. Just a sick intensity as his voice reverberates in your mind.
If you want to survive this, then trust me. One true soul to another.
Which is also interesting because apparently you can suppress the fact that you're a true soul in different ways. We will find out how we are suppressing it. We know it from the first act too, but apparently he can suppress it in a different way.
He's infected. Aye. But he's not with the cultists. Helped me fight them off a while back, in fact.
Is this true?
Interesting. Because I made my save game on the fly. I'm off script again. There's some people in the audience that yesterday saw a version of this scene, and they saw a completely different version. There were other people here that came to save me. Now I am in a more difficult spot because I will have to, well, I'll have to lie, but this guy obviously infiltrated her camp. Then again, I'm Dark Urge, so I don't really care. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna say, yep, it's true.
How is that possible?
The tadpole is afraid of me.
I've met no sorcerer that powerful. Met many. Now speak plain. How do you have control?
Fine, I'll show her the artifact. The artifact is a spoiler which is responsible for my protection. You see, my companions.
It's a spoiler, but we already know about it. Essentially, it protected us already. If you try to leave first zone before going to the goblin camp, you got essentially mind attacked by the absolute, and the only way you could break it was by Shadowheart pulling out the artifact and activating it. You can see the interaction in my recent playthrough.
Really don't approve of this.
This is a little funny. Concentrate on the tadpole.
What in the hells is that thing?
Gonna tell her everything I know, so that way.
Congratulations. You've earned yourself the benefit of the doubt. Hear me, Harpers. All clear. At ease. I'll not pretend to understand what that artifact is. But I'm old and wise enough to recognize a sliver of hope when it crawls out of the dark.
Look at his little smile. The most evil looking dude in the world smiling.
Tell me, why have you come here?
I want a cure for my parasites.
Then our interests align. We must all cure ourselves of the entire cult of the Absolute. There's food in the inn over there. Beds too if you require rest. Aloe oil in the cupboard in case the vines gave you a rash. Settle in.
Aloe oil. Aw. So nice.
Then come join me the godsend we've been praying for.
All right.
There's more where that came from.
So this place can come in multiple configurations, depending on which party I have, what composition, what decisions I made. In this particular case, it's an interesting one because we got this traitor in there.
Red meat. Now, that's a different matter. Rare seed.
Seems to be a problem with the sound because I noticed a desync, but okay. We'll just live through it.
Don't wander far. Please, be welcome. Have a drink. To your
This is interesting.
very good health.
Critical fail.
You perceive inviting hints of cedarwood and blackberry. Nothing out of the ordinary.
I assure you it's quite safe.
You think Jahira poisoned that? I think Jahira poisoned that.
You can see that my party is fairly distrustful and they don't approve of anything that's distrust. That's because they're on an evil path right now.
Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it?
It's trying to win me over, but I'm resisting its
And
temptations.
you're certain you will continue to resist?
We'll see.
Look around you. Good men, good women. Stranded here, 2 feet in the grave. If we're to survive, I have no choice but to trust you. Can I?
I mean, you have no choice.
Really? I am dark
It is
Hearts.
Dark Heart, yeah.
Trust me.
Good.
Sure you can.
Because I'll cross your heart myself if you break it. I have every reason to trust. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago.
Well, maybe you
Which
should
is
join the
not
party.
great.
Believe me, he was well and truly dead. I locked his corpse in the Thorn Mausoleum myself. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village. Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried.
He is
But
still a
he's
Sharan.
dead. Not only does General Ketherick
Kinda.
live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible.
Oh, the sound is completely gone now.
Commanding an army
It's a
of the
weird
Absolute
combination of
intent to
Sharan and
destroy
not.
Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope.
That's a bad hope. To have dark side as your hope is not a great
Alright,
outcome.
Well, really?
I do. Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Ketherick is without his shield, the sword. Together, we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight.
Alright, alright.
Without a cure for your infection, your days are numbered too.
We will see Ketherick later.
Yet you selflessly offer to spend them fighting alongside us. I like you. I promise I will do everything I can to make sure you survive this. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. What Whatever magic Gatherix using to control these tadpoles, it must be at moonrise.
All right, well,
Before you go, there's somebody else you should meet. You're not our only secret weapon. Isabel, a faithful cleric of Seluna, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around.
So as we know, Seluna and Shar are enemies, so I'm guessing you can use her to get through the Shadowlands.
See you through the shadows safely.
You will see why I assume that later.
so I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just go away and try to deal with it on my own because that's how I play. And I'm gonna pick up a quest from these guys, and then we will see what's gonna happen with that. Meanwhile, I think we can already cut to Adam. I'll pick up my quest and I'll go put myself in position. All right?
Okay, we switch over.
This is no ordinary darkness. It feels powerful and familiar. These lands have been blessed by Lady Shar. You must learn more about her presence here.
This is an evil Shadowheart.
Are you the true soul?
So I came through Act 1 in a very different way. So Sven mentioned I didn't go through the Underdark. I came by the Mountain Pass, which is where Lysel's gift crash is, that she talks about a lot. And more importantly, you see my second option here, I was sent by Minthara. So I actually sided with the Absolute. I went along with them. I massacred the Druid Grove in Act 1. Halsin's gone, sorry, no burst for you. And and now I've arrived. I've arrived through a different route. I'm also playing as Shadowheart, so Shadowheart.
So funnily enough, they got banned on TikTok for showing a part of this video is a steamy scene between two characters. One of them is Halsin, and they got banned on TikTok for showing that, which is very, very funny to me.
Is my avatar. She's my origin character. And she feels resonance with this land, and I've got a little greeting here.
Bless the absolute. I couldn't take standing out here much longer. Grab a torch, stay out of the dark, and move fast. The shadows have eyes. Go on.
Now, I'm not going to grab a torch because I'm Shadowheart, and I am one with Lady Shar. So I think I can probably navigate this curse without help. You'd also notice I'm alone. Got a lot of trophies of companions in my pockets. You see the Shadow Curse lands, it's incredibly bleak. There's color, there's these blooms spotted around the place.
I can feel her.
And there's chasms everywhere. It's a very, very sinister place. But I've got friends here. And my friends aren't sheltering. They belong here.
This is very cruel, but he gets his comeuppance.
I'm just going to observe.
Poor little hyena. This is why I don't like goblins.
Swallowed whole by the shadow curse. Bet it was pure tasty. You're the true soul we're taking to Moonrise, I'm guessing.
I am. I was sent here by Minthara.
Right you are. Go through and talk to Kansif. He's been waiting.
I will, but I didn't like what he did to the hyena, so he can go get the bone.
Wait, you're joking, yeah?
As you all know by now, I
We're
don't
ready
make
to go.
jokes.
You just need to tell Kansif inside.
I'm a cleric of Shar. This is Sharon Lands. I'm going to tell him that I'll strike him down with the power of the divine.
So you want me to... I mean, I'll just go and...
Karma.
No, no!
You know, sometimes karma comes quick.
Shadowheart.
Don't be an asshole to animals.
True soul. An honor. Did you bring the lyre?
I did. Minthara gave me a lyre. She told me that playing this would summon a guide through the darkness.
Then pluck a tune, and our guide will come scuttling.
Now, I'm a cleric, not a bard, but...
This is very funny. It's a pretty hard check.
it'll be fine. Beautiful.
Also, I did notice this last time that she has a little black spot on her hand, which I'm guessing is connected to her goddess.
Greetings, in the Absolute's name. You have been charged with guiding us.
New flesh for you, my queen. But who are they?
Best introduce yourself. Perhaps you'll listen to a true soul.
So, I think these are far more interesting friends than the Harpers. And I'm gonna see if he will take me to Moonrise, as I was told.
Cornus.
And you? What are you? Apart from a torturer of liars.
More faithful of the Absolute. She needs a guide to the tower, same as us.
Your minds connect, and you hear a whispered voice. The Absolute, or just the echoes of his fractured mind reverberating in the dark.
A true soul. You have more worshippers every day, Majesty. Yes, yes, she'll do nicely.
So we could ask him some more questions, of course, but I'm just actually going to follow him. I'm going to go along with him.
Very well. Gather the flock. Bless us again, Majesty. Shine your light. Protect us. Come, follow and stay close. Do not leave the light. Do not feed the shadows.
You heard him. Move out!
So now we're traveling through these Shadow-Cursed lands. As I said to you, Shadowheart doesn't need protection here. These guys do. That's why they got the torches. Torches will protect you, unless you go too deep.
This
Shadowcurse
is
gets more dangerous the deeper you go.
essentially how you protect yourself. Either the special torch that he's holding, normal
So I'm gonna
torches,
stay with you.
or
You can see
being a
this collar
Sharian.
here. This is from this lantern that he's carrying. And that's what's actually protecting us. I do want to loot this outhouse, but I'm not gonna. It's too risky.
It's a subtle hint. I'm definitely looting that outhouse every time.
And this is a pretty vast place, the Shadow-Cursed lands. But I've got a guide, so we'll get to Moonrise. Never good when you fail a perception roll.
Patience. Majesty, you bless us with patience. Wait. Something's wrong, Majesty.
Who's there? Show yourself! Harpers, attack! Kill the cultists and get that lantern! Heretics! Villains in the dark!
These Harpers are clearly enemies of the Absolute. They could be worthwhile allies. But defend the guide and you may preserve your cover as a true soul.
So I'm gonna switch back to Sven now while I decide what to do here. When you come back, you'll see what I did. You can make a guess. But you see, I started on this route, so I've gone this more evil route. I'm with the Dryder, but I still can switch sides. I'm not locked into this route. I can go with the Harpers now. They don't know who I am yet. I'd have to explain myself, but we'll see where Sven is.
Now something very interesting happens.
So I am
To your church every day, my queen.
We essentially see the same story from a different perspective depending on your choices. And this is why I'm super excited for this game.
Your faithful stand ready, Majesty. Soon
me to drag it out.
All right, so I went with the Harpers. We went on a mission. We want to steal the mechanic that the evil guys are using to traverse the Shadowlands because we can't get closer to the Moonrise Towers. So I'm going to use my tadpole, trying to convince them that I am a true soul. So clear your throat to make yourself known, knowing that I have the full power of the Harpers behind me.
What's this?
The Drider's eyes cut through the darkness, locking on you as your parasite squirms with excitement. Your minds connect, and you hear a voice whispering to you. The Absolute, or just the echoes of his fractured mind reverberating in the darkness.
One of your true souls, my queen. How have they survived?
All right, I'm going to say that the Absolute protected me.
You bless them too, my queen. Where is their lantern?
I'm going to say the Absolute guided me to you. I got +4, +3, +3, so I should be good. I'm going to add a bonus with another guidance roll. I think I'll manage.
Oh, also, so Drider, which is him, the spider dude, are essentially dragons that failed the quest of Loth, and as a punishment, they turn their lower half and part of them into a spider. So that's what a Drider is, just as information if you don't know.
Alright.
Majesty, is this true? Did I not serve you well? Very well. If it is your will, we can have it.
All right, so I am going to be a little bit more evil than that. I'm going to tell him, you may go now.
What do you mean, go?
We can't go without you. The shadows will tear us to pieces.
You'll have to.
Not Her Majesty's will?
Think it is. No, there, you carry the blessing of the Absolute. I'm a sorcerer. You'll be safe. Where did the... I think I should manage. With all of that stuff.
I love the fact that dice rolls can wipe whole parties you would need to fight.
If it is Her Majesty's will.
You can't be serious. You know what's out there.
If it is Her Majesty's will, then we shall walk! She will protect us.
Drider be angry.
She must.
She will not.
Majesty!
I'd never believe it if I hadn't just seen it.
This is the good character, by the way.
All
This
right, so
is
I have a
the
look at that
righteous
moon
good character making these choices. This is very funny, though.
The lantern gives off a chilly glow, protecting all in its vicinity from the surrounding shadows.
Then again, here you can see a big part of why certain characters and certain classes make a difference in conversations,
Oops.
in what's gonna happen next with the lantern.
You notice a tiny pixie trapped within. These fey creatures are infamous for their trickery.
He has high intelligence, so
Sometimes playful, sometimes malicious.
he saw the pixie.
You must release me or I'll die. This lantern only lights the way when I am hurting night and day.
I hate the rhyming, by
All
the
right,
way.
what are we going to do? Release it? Use it? I'll let chat decide. So what is it? Releasing it? I hear more releases than I hear ignoring, so we're going to... It looks like releasing it.
Also, I love how the albino dragonborn looks.
Trapped in that coffin.
company. Did me a good turn there, didn't you?
How
What do I
classy.
owe you?
This is a Dark Urge moment.
Also, by the
Beautiful thing
way,
it would be to end
the
alive
name
with
of
this
that
first moment
thing
of freedom.
is
So that
Dolly
really-
Dolly Dolly.
I do, but I'm going to refuse. I'm going to ask for help because I need to
Sure
show you
can.
something.
Will I? Yeah, sure, why not? Here, give this bell a shake. Speak the magic words and you'll get what you've earned. Protection from the shadow curse. What more could a dingus want? You're welcome.
And off she goes. All right, so Adam, will you?
Yeah, you want to
honors?
see how I'm getting on?
Get to see some interesting things. Almost makes the
Minuscule
peril
golden
worth it.
ball.
So if we move back to me now, I will show you Shadowheart's continuing adventures. Can we come back to my screen?
Oh. I was heading out.
Thank you very much. So I'm not going to show you the fight, but the Driders are now mincemeat. Sorry, the Harpers. The Driders absolutely fine. Don't worry about him. And by the way, I always say this at this point, but I'm the bad guy here apparently.
Yeah, this is the bad guy apparently.
Because I
You
think
know.
Dryder's quite a sweet fellow.
It's not
So
like
we
the
have
good
actually
guy
arrived
just
in
sent
Moonrise Towers,
several
after
people into
slaughtering the
certain
Driders.
death,
Harpers, sorry.
knowing that they would die.
New meat drider.
Oh, the Queen said them. Her Majesty's flesh grows full and glorious.
Helped us with some harpers on the way too. They're shadow bait now.
Move.
His thoughts seek yours, searching, grasping. Your parasite squirms in recognition.
Disciple Zarel's in the Great Hall. She'll be wanting to see you. You, head on in.
The others will go in, but I will go up. My queen summons me to her chapel to be in her presence. I hear you, sweet majesty. I am coming, my queen.
Weirdo.
Okay, so I can now get inside Moonrise Towers. This is the headquarters of the Cult of the Absolute, as far as we're aware. That's what we've been told. Now, Minthara sent me here, you remember. Minthara in Act 1 is actually looking for something specific. I'm not going to go into too many spoilers, but she didn't
Those
find it, even though we
ghouls
helped
on the
her. So we
side are
massacred all
very
those people in
scary.
the Grove. We didn't actually find what we were looking for. So, as we enter Moonrise Towers, if I talk to all these people, this is a full hub. There's traders here, there's quest givers, there's all kinds of little stories going on. But these are people who are flocking to the call of the Absolute. They've either already signed up or they want to sign up. But we're going to go into the main hall. We're going to meet our good friend and lover, Minthara. And we're going to meet General Ketheric Thorm.
But yes, Minthar can become a part of your party.
You saw my reports. You know it's not my fault. The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so. If I had been given drow warriors instead of goblin trash.
Oi!
What? You scrag! Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room.
Disciple Zell.
Squirms, urging you to obey.
Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers.
Yes. No!
That's General Thorn.
Absolute's chosen for your failure.
Of course it is not the General's fault.
Whose then?
So, I'm not going to ask chat here because I really don't want Minthara to get executed. So, I'm going to try and mentally influence Rel to show mercy.
I love the doggo, by the way. Undead doggo. Look at his little tail.
When it's just luck, I'm pretty good at the game.
Zarel's mind is a steel trap, but you cautiously ease your way in. Each just need to shift her focus a little.
I'm being unkind. Anyone might have struggled with such imperfect tools. Goblins are prone to failure.
Yes, it's the goblins' fault. They failed you, General, not me.
General?
Take Minthara below. Someone will have to consider her fate.
No! Please! Mercy! Please!
Bye-bye, princess.
And the goblins, General.
You, true soul. You have seen what these creatures are capable of, and you have seen their inadequacies. Isn't that so? What is your judgment?
We did as we were told. We're loyal to the Absolute. Tell him!
Enough! True soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause.
Well, I did see the horrors they committed in the Absolute's name. I committed those horrors alongside them, so I'm going to pick two.
Thank you. It's good to be appreciated.
I'm sure they were very enthusiastic. But zeal without efficacy is for children, not servants. We are too close to the ending and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them quickly.
What? No! You creaking old bag of shit!
Very rude. And let's just say this is not gonna go well for the Gubbos. Especially that one Gubbo.
Try again.
I like how she does try again. She does not try anymore.
Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, put that true soul to use. You have far more important matters to attend to. Or have you forgotten?
Of course not. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Do. Have fun. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command.
Just interesting because that means you're stronger here. Let's just say this is not going well for the Gubbos.
Do anything drastic, are ya? We've been nothing but loyal.
I'm going to do something very drastic.
Poor,
chat.
poor Gobbo.
We're going to do 1 or 2. We're not going to do 3 or 4 because that's not the kind of person I am right now.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah? It's guts.
No, please.
A little bit harakiri. Poor little Gobbo. Continuation of the Shadow Heart playthrough. Again, this is
And you can see the
essentially a
hospital
boss
has
fight
as
level,
Shadow Curse
place,
in general have.
arena.
The objective of the Scalpel Sisters is to soothe. For the Scalpel indeed is an extension of Shah. See how the
And yes, obviously they are Sharian,
stroke the right nerve.
just like Shadowheart.
Hear its comfort, hear the very melody of mercy. Pray, sister, show us the extent of your beneficence. Stop. Stay your hand, for it slaps hardly hear the patient sighs of solace. Perhaps it is our unexpected audience that makes you quiver. Come, step forward. I can see the love of Shah darken your eyes. Be welcome.
So he recognizes that I'm a Sharon.
It's Malice Thorm.
I'm going to say you teach Shah's ways with grace, but for such an altered being.
Not altered, sister. Elevated. Long have I basked in Shah's embrace. A vessel of her will I have become. Tell me, what is the guiding principle of the goddess?
I'm not going to let chat vote. I know my dogma.
Precisely. Absence. No other word captures the heart of Shah so very perfectly. It is the scalpel-led journey that leads from pain to peace. See? What is the light of eyes but the cancer that causes one to witness the laceration?
Creepy mofo.
If light is the symptom, then darkness is the cure. For in light there is presence, but in darkness there is absence.
In light is presence, in darkness, absence.
But
All of them are creepy mofos.
the succor of Shah eludes even you. One who walks faithfully in her shadow. See how painfully present you remain. We do not wish to see you suffer so. Let us cure you.
Well, it doesn't seem like a great idea to be cured by this guy, so I'm gonna say I don't think the sisters are ready. I did.
Obviously, he fails.
I think I'm
And
okay.
it's a -1 too.
Should have
But because he
inspiration.
wiped
Yeah,
his
I think I have
party,
enough inspiration as I
he has a lot of
So,
inspiration.
fingers crossed. I will add my bonus as well. Yeah.
There we go.
Their incisions are as yet still streaked with imprecision. That much I must concede. How to steady their hands, I wonder.
So, you've got a choice here. You can either pick number one, tell them to practice on a better subject, or we can have them practice on each other. One or two. One.
And here
That's
we can
saying
essentially
two.
see how instead of
It's
just
two. That's
fighting
saying two.
all of these people,
No.
you can just make the right choices, and if you are lucky with your rolls,
no.
you can actually, well, do what is gonna happen, hopefully.
So like everyone else in BG3, if I fail this, then it's not the end of the game. I can fight this guy. We don't know what'll happen if I fail, but if worst comes to worst, I can fight him. Worst may be coming to worst.
Look at that one.
Where are your harpers now? Yes!
Natural 20. If you roll a nat 20, it's an automatic success.
Are we not all in need of a cure? The scalpel does not discriminate. Let each and every one of you partake in its soothing journey. Absence, sisters, acquaint yourselves. It is a proud moment when one sees one's teachings so lovingly taken to heart.
Very lovingly. So gently.
Are to be commended for their graduation, rewarded with the promised cure. Come, I acquaint you with the lady's dark-fingered embrace.
Okay, so I got rid of his minions.
And
We're
here you
gonna
can see
try
that he has an option
to
because he's
get
a
rid of
cleric
him as well.
and then deceive. So you might not be able to do this as a cleric, as a non-cleric.
What? No!
He gets 2 dice because
Last
he's a
one.
cleric.
How much did you give yourself?
4. I earned this. So, inspiration is shared by the party. All the party members I killed earned this for me.
Yeah, and you can see his advantage cleric, so he gets 2 dice. There we go.
This is better for you.
Critical
This is
success.
a lot of fun / horrible.
Your diligence is exemplary. Very well. Your own scalpel you will be. Observe, then succeed me into the succor of Shah.
Well done, Adam. Congratulations on saving the day.
And that was it. That was gameplay from the chapter 2 of Baldur's Gate. And essentially what happens after you finish chapter 1, depending on the choices you make and where you come from, what path you take to get to Moonrise Tower. I think it's very, very interesting. We saw some interesting characters that you can play around with, and I'm really, really looking forward to the full release on 3rd of August. Thank you for watching. Have a very nice day. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, and don't forget to subscribe.